Radio 1. HTLA Radio 1 in New York City proudly presents Crash Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, HTLA 97.3 FM in New York proudly presents rock superstar Crash Jesus.
Damn, if that don't get you wound up and ready to go, huh? Okay, well, maybe not. That's just me. Yes, rockstar legend in my own mind. Good afternoon, Crash Talkers. You have tuned to HTLA Radio 1 and today's edition of Crash Talk, which is, of course, happily and inquisitively, I might add, entitled Truck You. That's right. Truck You, buddy. Yeah. Well, in keeping with, the Crash Talk style that you've all come to know and love, I have to say that today's episode is
powered by Procast.
Yes, thank you, Kate. Yes, it's powered by Procast, and man, before you know it, Procast will actually be here and live and in stereo. Oh wait, stereo's old. In HD. There we go. Yes, in HD. Isn't that right, Kissy?
Hi, I'm Kissy Springer, and you've got it tuned to HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk radio, broadcast always in HD.
Ah, yes, thank you, Kissy. That's our little radio girl, our robotic radio girl. Yes, we spent years in testing and development of our Android, and soon you'll be able to actually see her on the road with us as we hit many events this spring and summer. All over New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, hell, you name it. We might even hit Vegas and Arizona. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Well, anyway, we got to get back to Truck You, because as usual, it's going to be another exciting, edge-of-your-seat, nail-biting Crash Talk, and it's something you're not going to want to miss, so don't turn me off, please. Yes, don't do that. A little important side note that was just brought to my desk this morning. It concerns the national debt, and I'm sure we're all concerned with that, aren't we? Huh? I think the national debt is something to cheer about, don't you, kids? No? Was that a? No, I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, in economics news, back in 2009. Each and every single American owed $35,000 as their portion of the national debt. So the rate per citizen, $35,000. And that was in 2009. And, you just kind of think about that. You're like, well, 35 grand is a lot, but considering, the economic situation that we've gone through, we're on the road to recovery now, or at least so Obama says. It was 35 grand. I don't know, we could all pull together like the Americans of old and just get that job done, right? Couldn't we? I think we could. I think we could actually pull together 35 grand each and make it happen. What do you say, kids? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't agree more. So let's go and put that 35,000 out. Oh, wait, we can't now because the new number has come out in 2012. Each American owes $51,000. Tell them what they get for that $51,000, Bob. Well, you don't get anything, but that is a 46% increase in the national debt per person. Wow, isn't that some good news? Yes, that's good. Isn't that good, kids? No? Well, It's funny, I just got to say this, being a Canadian all my life until the ripe old age of 44 when I finally got my ass to the United States because I've always dreamed of it. I get here and, man, I'm not impressed. No. No, so much of the crap that's put out over the border in terms of what America really is not accurate, not in the slightest. But today's show isn't about that. No, it's not about the economics of the nation. It's not about, pledging allegiance to the flag. No, it's none of that stuff. It's really about the real inner workings of the United States and not on the political angle, which is what most of my colleagues in the radio biz like to kick into and pick on because, oh man, ain't there a lot there to pick on. Yeah. No, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going the policing route today. Yeah, I'm going to go the police route because it's something I have a clue about. And indeed, in talking with other police officials, both here and back in Canada, and also on a federal level, I've been able to get kind of an interesting perspective that I'd like to share with you guys today. For example, in New York City here, we've got something that the New York City Police calls Operation Clean Halls. Probably a lot of you don't know about this, but what this is it basically is a law that allows police. It allows peace, brother. No, it doesn't. No, it allows police to patrol private apartment buildings, stopping and frisking guests and residents. Okay? There are signs pretty much everywhere in New York about Operation Clean Halls here. And there's, indicators like it's patrolled regularly by the NYPD. Trespassers are subject to arrest. And usually following signs that are no loitering, sitting, playing music, or ball playing. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Now, when I first heard about this law, I thought, hey, that's awesome. That's a step in the right direction. It is. You stop and think about it. Some of the neighborhoods in New York, although New York has cleaned up its act quite a bit in recent years, let's face it, there are parts of New York that were absolute war zones. There's parts of L.A. that are absolute war zones. Oh, heck. Let's go Chicago and Detroit, too. There's war zones everywhere, gang. Let's face it. So, when an Operation Clean Halls kind of idea comes along, well, we welcome that, don't we? Well, do we? That's really the question. Looking at this a little bit more in depth, we go to some actual case study work here on what's happening in New York. Jay Victorino was standing outside his mother's apartment when he was grabbed by police, and he says if she hadn't come downstairs to identify him, he would have been arrested on a trespassing charge. That's because his mother, South Bronx Building, is one of the thousands of private dwellings patrolled by the New York Police Department under a program known as Operation Clean Halls. Victorino, 28 years old, had mixed feelings about the program. On one hand, he has seen his neighborhood become safer, but on the other, he doesn't think it's right to be targeted. He says, quote, "I don't want to be stopped," he said, "but I also don't want something bad to happen to my family. It's not easy to say, what the right answer is. It's not a perfect world." His ambivalence was echoed by dozens of people around the city who live in buildings that are enrolled in this program. The only one of its kind in a major U.S. city, it gives police the standing permission to roam the halls of private buildings. Some residents. No, not going the Obama route today. Some residents say that they feel safer, while others say that they believe they're being harassed at home and, in some other cases, illegally stopped and arrested. More than a dozen residents have filed a federal lawsuit saying their civil rights were violated. Quotes are, "We don't feel safe, but it's because of the police," said Jagan Ligon, one of the plaintiffs in the case, who said her son has been wrongly arrested due to this situation. Operation Clean Hall started in Manhattan in the 1990s when crime was at an all-time high, and some private building owners felt overwhelmed with the wrongdoings going on inside their properties. Now there are more than 3,000 participating buildings around the city, mostly in higher crime areas such as the South Bronx. To enroll, a building owner or manager signs paperwork allowing police to enter and arrest people found to be committing crimes. Edifices citywide are dotted with small white square signs alerting residents that their homes are patrolled by police. Some are huge complexes, while others are small brownstones. Officers have conducted hundreds of thousands of patrols up and down stairwells, even more outside. They catch drug transactions, shoo away loiterers, and break up fights, the residents say. It's good for us. It's great. We love it. Otherwise, people are in the hallways all the time and up to no good, 77-year-old Courtney Campbell said, recalling a time when people would urinate in her hallway. Yes, the good old smell of urine. Don't you miss that? Eventually, a police officer rang her doorbell and told her over the intercom to come down and identify her boy. She said, I thought he was dead, she said. I ran down the stairs, and when I saw him there, I just collapsed. Ligon said her son was later arrested on a trespassing charge, but that the charge was dropped. She says, I want the harassment to stop. It's not right. This lawsuit is one of 3 pending federal cases right now that involve the New York Police Department's stop, question, and frisk practice, championed by... Yes. Did you get that? Good. It was championed by Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly and Mayor Michael Bloomberg. It was basically a necessary crime-fighting measure that has helped the nation's biggest city reach historically low crime rates in recent years. There were only 414 killings citywide last year, compared with 2,245 in 1990. Kelly has called the practice a life-saving tool that deters criminals from taking illegal weapons in public. Bloomberg invoked the toll of gun violence to defend the practice in his last State of the City address. It should be noted, as recent as March 6th, that Abdullah Turner posed for a photo outside of his building in the Bronx, in the borough of New York. Turner lives in one of the thousands of private dwellings that are patrolled by the New York Police Department under a program known as Operation Clean Halls. What's your take on this, gang? Because, originally I was thinking, hey, yeah, right on. Scrub them streets clean. Yep. It's a good move, isn't it? Well, then there's the downside, isn't there? Geez, you're a resident, and you're getting frisked and stopped and questioned and all those good Nazi things, right? I think I'm safe in equating that kind of thing with that kind of thing. So, okay, here we go. We've got all these wrongful arrests. We've got all this, that, and the next thing. Did you hear the numbers? Okay. I really think that people don't understand that when you implement something on a large scale, and this program would certainly qualify, there are going to be positives that come from it, and as with pretty much anything, there are going to be, or at least perceived, negatives. Okay? So, let's look at the positives. Well, the positives are obvious, blatant. 414 killings citywide last year, down from 2,245 in 1990. I would call that program an absolute, astounding, resounding success, wouldn't you? Every single year, we've been saving well over 1,000 lives every year. I think that's a huge success. I think, hell, let's go out on the limb there. I think if there's a police program out there that actually saves one life, it's arguable that it's worth it. Yes? No? Well, you can let me know. You can go ahead and give me an email at crashradio@crash.ca. radio@live.com. Yes, it's my new, sexy, new improved, the end-all be-all email address there. You can give me a buzz on that and let me know. Let me know, because, I don't want to report stuff that's wrong. And actually, I do have a correction coming up after the commercial break when we get to the second part of Truck U, where we actually do talk about the truck, and you'll know the truck when I mention it because it's a now famous truck, and we'll shoot that story full of holes. Oh, there's a faux pas. We'll be back in 2 minutes, gang.
When you have cable and can't record all your shows, you feel unhappy. When you feel unhappy, you go to happy hour. When you go to happy hour, you're up for anything. When you're up for anything, you head to a Turkish bathhouse. When you head to a Turkish bathhouse, you meet Charlie Sheen. And when you meet Charlie Sheen, you reenact scenes from Platoon with Charlie Sheen. Don't reenact scenes from Platoon with Charlie Sheen. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
There are machines that can do things for us. Machines that can make things for us. Machines that can see right through us. And machines that want to be us. Want to replace us. But they are not us. There is one machine that makes us greater. A machine so instinctive, so seductive. It's as alive as we are. It doesn't click or buzz. It roars. Jaguar.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
HTLA Radio 1.
Thank you. Yes, so, what do you do when you live in a shoe here on Crash Talk? What do? You kick a lot of crash butt, don't you, right, kids? Yeah? Kick a lot of the, yeah. Right. Anyway, so, yeah, good program, I think. Hot damn. Oh, well, yeah, but we're being stopped and we're being accused of, well, I don't know. Yeah, you have to kind of round it up, don't you? If you're getting all this benefit of, well, almost 2,000 lives saved a year, to having to be stopped and frisked and this, that, and the next thing. The bottom line is, if you're innocent and you haven't done anything, there's going to be no issue. You kind of can't have it both ways. If you're wanting the reduced crime rate, if you're wanting nice neighborhoods, if you're wanting, well, hell, to quote the immortal Rodney King, if you just want everybody to get along, I think you're going to have to kind of suck these kind of inconveniences up. Innocent until proven guilty, gang. You have rights. Everybody knows them. Cops will be quoting them to you when they're talking to you. I think we got to kind of suck it up on that particular angle. And if I'm wrong, let me know. Feel free. Fire me off an email. crashradio@live.com. Now we're moving on to the main story today of today's show. Yes, Truck U, buddy. Yes, well, you may have remembered my Black Cops episode not too long ago, in which we broke down the Christopher Dorner case and the manhunt that there went ensued. Yes. They're big words. I'm trying them out. You got to help me out here. Well, we all know the end of that, sort of, don't we? Yes, he was possibly found in a burned out cabin, and we'll spin you another story some other time. And then, of course, nothing's been mentioned since. And, that's just done now. Okay, let's carry on. Yeah, there it is. Anyhow, I did report during that show wrongly that police stopped a truck that was similar in description to the Dorner vehicle and just proceeded to put 102 bullets into it. Didn't ask questions. Nope. Just open fire. Yeah. Well, those two folks that were in that truck I reported were killed. That was the word on the street at the time. And subsequently, of course, we've found that no, one was just shot 4 times and one was shot 6 times, and miraculously they both survived. Their truck, however, really did not. It took 102 hits from all angles, 8 different officers involved in the shooting, and now this story has taken a funny turn. Oh, yes. So funny. You're going to love this. Torrance, California. 2 women were performing their morning newspaper delivery route. Yes, they were. And they did it in their truck because, hey, it's their truck and they do their route. And Dorner be damned, ain't nobody got time for that. So they're doing their route there on the early hours of February 7th, 2013. They were driving in a blue Toyota Tacoma. Note I said blue. All right. Well, this was all during the LAPD crisis of looking for the fugitive driving a black Nissan Titan. Oh, yes. Yes, that black one. Yeah. 8 officers decided that the newspaper deliverer's truck was close enough match and opened fire at the truck in the rear. A total of 102 rounds hit the truck. Not counting the other strays shot in the middle of a residential neighborhood, by the way. The women were both shot during the barrage of terror, but miraculously did not die. After the event, the police tried to smooth things over by replacing the bullet-riddled truck with a new one. Wow. I'm sorry we unloaded on you, and the only thing we didn't do to you was call in a freaking A-10 Rattler airstrike. But here's a new truck. Wow. Okay. Well, however, there of course are strings attached, and the women must file a government 1099 form and pay the taxes on the quote-unquote gift. Evidently, they are not allowed to sell the truck either. Their attorney says, quote, "You tried to murder the women. Now you're telling them they can't have a 4-wheel drive. You're telling her she can't sell it, and you've got to be taxed on it." He says, how would anyone react to that? The women, well, the report says they will likely sue instead. What has actually happened is, yes, they are most certainly suing. And wouldn't you and me? Oh, yes, we would. All 8 officers who attacked the innocent woman are still employed by the LAPD. They were never put on even a suspension. They weren't even taken off duty after the shooting. They returned to duty as usual. No charges have been filed to date against them either. What does it take to fire a bad cop? What other professions tolerate unprovoked attacks on innocent people? I think politicians. Yeah. Oh, that deadly manifesto. Yes. So there you go. You know, you're driving in your truck one morning, you're doing your job. All of a sudden, the first interdiction with the Viet Cong is happening right in your truck. Yes, you're getting bullets coming at you from all angles. These people who are shooting at you are trying to kill you, thinking you are somebody else, but still trying to kill you nonetheless, completely devastating your property, not to mention the damage they inflicted upon your person in the course of doing your duty, which is your job. You're out there doing those newspapers. Man, you know, if the mail carrier still had that kind of motto, huh? Yeah. Imagine that. Nor snow, nor sleet, nor the rain of fire from the LAPD will keep me from my appointed rounds today. Wouldn't that be something? I think they should change that. Anyway, the bottom line here is that you've got these gals who are doing their job. They get opened up on. They're damn near killed. Their truck's destroyed. Cops offer up, well, here's another truck. Sorry. Yeah. By the way, Little side note here. Import vehicles are import vehicles for a number of reasons, but primarily it's because they're more freaking expensive. You're offering to change up the Titan here with all the bells and whistles on it, roughly $45,000 to $55,000 with all the features and benefits all thrown in there that you need for newspaper delivering. And well, here we'll give you this $21,000 Ford with our apologies. Yeah. Actually, Galpin Ford in Los Angeles estimates the value of the truck, 2013 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4, at $32,560 currently. The dealership had planned on paying the sales tax and vehicle registration and title on the truck, according to the dealership spokesperson, just because they felt bad for this lady. Wow, you've got a completely uninvolved vehicle dealership. Not even the vehicle make and manufacturer of the vehicle that was destroyed. No, a complete unrelated vehicle company offering to take care of those costs for them when it's not on them at all. That's pretty nice. So let's give a Crash Talk salute out there to Galpin Ford. Good job, guys. But really? And then, of course, the LAPD is just saying, oh, well, we're just complying with federal law. Wow, you're so eager to comply with federal law now. I guess that's good, isn't it? What about when you forgot about that federal law about equal and opposing force? How about that? If these chickies were riding around with Uzis hanging out the window spraying, yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? There's a situation where we can just cocker and park there and open up the doors and unload. That would be a situation for that. But of course, the women didn't have Uzis out the window. The women didn't have any guns in the vehicle, and the women, of course, were not Christopher Dorner. They weren't specially trained in anything. They had no top security clearance anywhere. And the only thing that they were trained in was maybe hucking a paper at those cops. So, now you got to pay the tax. I'm just going to leave this silent here for a minute because I can tell that half of you out there are laughing your asses off, and the other half of you are crying in shame at what has happened to our policing in this country, along with everything else that's gone to hell in this country. Ah, yes. You can't just have one thing. No. No, we make everything go to hell. Don't just have the one thing go to hell. No, screw that. Yeah. So there you go. And there's been a lot of things said about this on a number of different angles. But one of my favorite quotes here comes from Walter E. Williams. He says, how does something immoral, when done privately, become moral when it's done collectively? Furthermore, does legality establish morality? Slavery was legal. Apartheid is legal. Stalinist, Nazi, and Maoist purges were all legal. Clearly, the fact of legality does not justify these crimes. Legality alone cannot be the talisman of moral people. And there you go. That's there's nothing else to say. That's pretty cut and dried and clear. So, but what I want to know is, hell, what the hell happened to Adam 12? When did Adam 12 go from that to our masked, bulletproofed MP5 anti-terrorist gear, armored to the teeth, 27,000 armored vehicles, blah, blah. Whoa. Wow. What is going on? Well, and then you got this whole other side of thing, too. We got the MS-13. Yes, the MS-13. We come to the United States and we fill your land with drugs. Yes. MS-13. There you go. MS-13. If you haven't heard of them, go look them up. They're a fun bunch. And apparently they're plaguing the entire state of California and moving well across the country, probably right here in New York, and I'm going to die tomorrow. But the important thing is that you people all stand up out there and take notice. Don't stand for this crap anymore. Something has to be done, and it's not going to happen at the government level. So don't even look at it at the municipal, the state, or the federal levels. It'll just be more talk. It'll be swept under the carpet, and they'll carry on status quo. We need to do things proactively and physically within ourselves. We need to organize. We need to exchange information, and damned if we don't have the internet now, so we have no excuse anymore. Absolutely not. We need to make these changes for the better of our society. We need to deal with and sometimes, suffer through kind of sucky instances like Operation Clean Halls. You might have to get frisked. You might have to have your identification checked, but damn it, we're saving lives. And people who open up and unload 102 bullets into a vehicle, whether or not they're wearing a uniform, need to be dealt with criminally, likely need to be dealt with civilly, and certainly need to be dealt with on a moral scale. And that's about all for me tonight, gang. But we will be back here shortly with another fine edition of Crash Talk. I certainly hope you have enjoyed the show as much as I have. And whoa. Oh, thanks, Bob. And until next time, gang, life sucks, and I'm gone.